What's up? What's up? Mr. Mrradillo here, back with another episode. It has been a while. I have been busy. I've been busy. I wanted to jump in and do a life update here and talk about the Raiders, I think some. We're not going to go too heavy biblically on this current episode. Kind of saving that for um, youth, actually. I'm gonna put a little more focus on that. I'll do some some spiritual stuff here as well, but I kind of what all I'm thinking about right now is youth and how it's going to go specifically. But so life update. Where do we start here? We officially started the sanctuary on October 6th. These last month or so, and some change between no episodes is I got really busy at work. Got busy with my thesis. I've been really knocking that out. So I'm almost done with my thesis, and I think I'll actually finish it this time. No jinx, you know what I mean? I'm going through chapter by chapter. My chapter 2, basically, when I started this, my professor said most of it was really good. Chapter 2 just needed to be written because I summarized about 2,000 years of church history. Which is kind of funny. If you know me, I kind of do that stuff. But I am excited to get that done with and then be done with my Master's of Theology. And it should be good. It should be good. That'll be my second Master's. I have an MBA currently. So I'm just been working on that, trying to knock that out. And I was meeting with my professor every single week because he recommended some books. And I read like 3 books in 3 weeks, and then I was writing, and so I've been busy. I've been kind of busy with that stuff. But we started the church October 6th with our first service. So this Sunday will be our second service, which was super exciting. I was nervous. I get nerves. I overthink things. I do these things and like I get in my head and then I'm worried about it and then I freak out. You know what I mean? That's my MO. But it went really smoothly. I'm still a little worried because we're doing Sunday school, so I'm teaching the youth, and then we're going to be doing youth next Wednesday. That'll be our first. So I don't know what to expect in that, and so I'm kind of nervous. It was awesome though. We had 74 people at the sanctuary for our opening services. Really cool. We put together about 148 chairs. This week we got the building ready. It was kind of empty. We had to clear out a bunch of garbage. We had to clean up. We had to get it carpeted. We had to set up the instruments, set up all the video equipment, the instruments, the things, the bathrooms. Like there has been a lot of work that we've been doing this last month or so. So that's kind of why I've been so MIA with the podcast. But I'm going to try to get back into it more, try to do more stuff moving forward. Because I also want to keep an update about like how youth is going, how church is going in general. And it's just kind of really excited to be back in ministry. I also started something called CAMS training, which is with the Church of God. I can't remember what CAMS stand for, but I know it's something and ministry. So after I finish this, I'll be finished in November with CAMS. I will be an official licensed minister in the state of Arkansas. And then after that process, I will go through the ordination process, and that's about a 6-month process that'll start the following fall. So I've been busy with that, and I've been working really hard, and I got a promotion. I am going to be a financial aid analyst. I haven't put it on LinkedIn or anything yet. So you guys are the first to know. Sorry. No, actually my wife was probably the first to know. Scratch that. Probably my coworkers, because I told them it was my last day. But I texted my wife first, and then I texted my mom. So if you know, you know. And then I texted my church family at the sanctuary. So it was really nice. So I will be starting that on the 16th. Of October. So I'm a little nervous about that as well. I'm a ball of nerves right now. it seems like obviously the Lord's blessing me. The Lord's blessing my family, even in hardships, even in things we've had to walk through. And there's some things that we've had to walk through this couple months that have been a struggle as well. And I'm not gonna get into those yet. But there have been some things that have been difficult, and we've had to really rely on God and keep walking with Him because He is good. He is good regardless of the trials, regardless of the circumstances, regardless if we don't feel Him. You know what I mean? He's still good. He's still great. And so, like, it's been a really good season, these last couple months since my last podcast. I think the last one was at the beginning of August, and now we're in October, so it's been like 2-3 months here that I haven't recorded an episode. And honestly, it's just I've been so busy, I haven't been able to. But it's things are starting to get on track. We're starting to get into a better routine, but we're also starting to get busy as well with the church and with my new promotion and with finishing my thesis and cams and all the other stuff that we got going on. So, but it's been awesome. I'm really excited about this new position as a financial aid analyst. I'm nervous because it's actually a big bump too. Not huge. It's about a 12K bump, which is huge for me. So I'll be really excited about that. Um, and it'll help. It'll help with the family and things of that nature. I've been going to the dentist a lot as well. I don't like. I got because I was chewing on some ice, and I broke a tooth in the back, so I had to get that replaced. The dentist is pricey, man. Even with insurance, it is just straight pricey. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. I wanted to jump on here and do like a quick little pod update of life, and just really jump into that stuff. So Cams has been interesting. So so we're going with the Church of God, and essentially we'll get licensed. So it's like 3 sessions that are like 8 hours long. So we've already had one. We'll be on our second one this coming Saturday. And then there's coursework, and then there's like papers that you have to write. Do you hear that? Coursework? Yeah, coursework and papers that I have to write. Nat has to write some papers as well. She's not loving that as much. And she has to also attend the sessions and do some of the videos and things of that nature. So um, it's been kind of interesting. It kind of feels like I'm starting kind of over, which is fine. I don't have all the experience in the world in ministry, so it's been nice to actually go through some type of progress with ministry. Obviously, I've been in academia for a long time. You know what I mean? I finished my MBA, and then in 2020, I jumped into this Master's of Theology program, and that's been fun. I've learned a lot. I've grown as a Christian, as a believer. My knowledge has increased. It's been great, and I'm excited to really utilize that during our youth, and really just having them gain a deeper understanding. So like my goal for the youth, and I'm just going to speak about it here, is like kind of like I share the vision and things of that nature. When I funny story about that, my pastor, we were sitting in a church, and we were going to City Life at the time, and we were having our interest meeting for all the launch team, and he's like, "Hey, I meant to tell this to you, but could you share something, your vision for the youth?" And I was like, sure, yeah. And so like I just sat there and kind of was trying to put into words what like I wanted for our youth group, what I see the vision long term for it. And this is kind of where I went. Like my vision is Proverbs 22:6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. That's kind of the vision for this youth group, is we're going to train them in the way that they should go, so that when they grow out of youth group, that they won't depart from it. And we're going to do this in a variety of ways. We're going to go ahead and focus on scripture, which is cool. We're doing Sunday school, and I've been kind of like, in youth, I wanted to kind of go book by book and not be as topical, but we're actually going to be doing this in Sunday school. We're actually going to be going book by book and really like diving into the stories and things of that nature. So that's going to be great. And then I'm going to be able to be more topical with youth. So I'm actually really excited about that. I was worrying about it because I was like, what am I supposed to do with youth? And I was like, oh, I can just be more topical because we're going to be doing like going through the Bible in Sunday school. So that's kind of be cool. It's going to be interesting going back to Sunday school. I grew up in Sunday school. So always enjoyed Sunday school, but it's been a while since I've been in part of Sunday school. So it's been like since since high school that I haven't been a part of a Sunday school group, and that's crazy to think about. That is super crazy. Okay, we're gonna keep going with this vision just because I want to share this with whoever's listening. If you're in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and you are looking for a church for your students, come to the sanctuary. You can find us online at our website, thesanctuaryhs.com. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that. I'll post it down here below, and I'll post our website. But you can find our address there. Off the top of my head, I don't know it, or I would spout it out. But we're going to also focus on prayer. We want to encourage a prayer life within youth because like these are fundamentals not only for our youth to encourage them to go in the way they need to go, but also for life. Like developing a prayer life is vital. You need to talk to the Father. You need to communicate. You need to get in with him. Prayer is vital. And honestly, I've missed praying within specifically church, youth, and actual like big church kind of thing. And like I'm excited to be in a place where we can also do that as well. So that's one aspect I'm really excited about with the sanctuary. And then the third is growing in the spirit and practice walking in it. Uh, I want to encourage our youth to seek the gifts, seek the spiritual gifts, because that's what Paul said: is seek the gifts, seek the best gifts, right? I want to encourage them to walk in that as well. Not only in our daily life, dying to ourselves daily, walking in the Spirit, and trying to become more like Christ, but truly to like actually participate within spiritual gifts within service. So maybe there's prophecy, maybe there's speaking in tongues, maybe there's healings, whatever it is. I want to encourage that environment, not only in our youth, but also in the sanctuary. And also, the last is like, I want to promote joy and peace, that they can experience a joyous and peaceful environment when they come, and know that like this place is a safe place, so that if they do fall or if they do make mistakes, that we can pick them up, bring them back in the fold. You know, like that the parable of the lost sheep and the 99. That if one strays away, that we can bring him back in the fold. We can go reach for him, kind of thing. So that's kind of the vision for youth. I'm excited about it. I'm also really nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I know the Lord is. I'm gonna do my best for the Lord. But I get nervous. I get weary because I don't know what to expect. I know. I think we're probably gonna have about 8 youth, so that's pretty exciting. Starting off with about 8, I'm I'm pumped about that. That's something that like I wasn't sure if we were gonna have 3, wasn't sure if we are gonna have 0, kind of thing. So now that I know we're gonna have about 8 youth, like it's pretty exciting about it. I'm also really excited about my wife being on the worship team. She gets to be a part of worship again, and that's really exciting for her. And I'm thankful that God has placed that gift in her, and that it's being drawn out, and that's just super encouraging. I also want to talk about this financial aid position. So I work at Henderson State University, um, so right now I'm a housing specialist. So it's basically I'm basically a receptionist. I've been doing a lot more, but the actual title is receptionist. It's administration, which is just a word for reception, honestly, because the majority of my job description is answering phones and things of that nature, which has been fine. Like I've been there for 6 months on the 16th, but it's just shown like the favor of God that I'm actually going to be moving up, getting a promotion, moving into a bigger role. And if that's intimidating to figure out what I'm actually going to be doing, it's going to be a little bit more fast paced than my current role. Um, but I'm confident that the Lord has placed me there for a reason, and I'm going to keep moving forward every day and growing in that role. So it's kind of exciting. I know I'll be dealing with financial aid, like as far as aid and financials of students, helping them get their aid packages, whether it's loans or grants or scholarships, whatever it entails. I'm helping them. Then I'm also doing reports with the government and with the state. So I'm excited about it. It sounds a little intimidating, but I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm pretty pumped because it's the next step up, and it just shows like the favor of God. And what's funny is like I feel like my name is kind of getting out there. Like I feel like people are starting to recognize, and that's all God's favor. You know what I'm saying? Just any recognition that I receive, it's truly favor. It just because whenever like this is a new motto that I've tried to adopt in working here in Arkansas. And I haven't always had this. And this is something that I think the Lord is growing in me is that in anything I do, I'm going to do it with my best. I'm going to do it like I'm doing it to God. And that's such a biblical principle to do things like you're doing it to God because ultimately He's given you that opportunity, right? He's blessed you with the ability to have that position or to be in that specific place, right? And if you don't steward it well, if you don't do your best, right, then ultimately you're kind of not failing the Father, but you are failing the Father, right? You're thinking about it just on earthly things, but in reality, God's given you every aspect of this. We kind of don't give God enough credit, and we give ourselves more credit than we should. Like the only reason I'm where I'm at or how I'm good at what I'm doing is because of God. Like it's not because of me. God gave me the ability to learn. God gave me the ability to understand. God gave me the ability to be kind. God gave me these qualities. And I'm really appreciative of God even when I get lost in the toughness of the day or the toughness of the season. You know what I mean? God is still in control, and I'm thankful for him. So that's kind of what's been going on in our lives. We have some personal things. Me and Nat are great, but there's been some things that we've been walking through that have been challenging, and it's been it's been difficult, and it's been a lot of tears and a lot of struggles, but it's also been joy, and it's also been fun times, and that's just what life is. Life's full of ups and downs, and that's why it's so good to have an anchor of Christ. If you don't have an anchor, right? If you're not participating in Christ, you're missing out. Because with all these ups and downs, I can say that God has been consistent in my life. He's been the very thing that has kept me sane. He's been the very thing that has kept me peaceful. He's been the very thing that keeps me joyful. He is my provider, right? He is my shelter. He is my stronghold. He is such a great God. Try him. Try him out. Try Jesus and see if your life doesn't get better, right? All right, so that's kind of been the life update, but I want to move on to the Raiders. They suck, okay? They suck. I'm always going to be a Raider fan. I'm always going to be a diehard, okay? Right? I'm wearing a Raider hat right now, right? I'm always going to be about them, but they suck. They suck, and I don't know how else to say it. I don't think they like suck officially. Officially, they don't have a quarterback, so they just made the switch to AOC, Aiden O'Connell from Gardner Minshew. I actually would prefer them. I would have preferred them to start AOC from the very beginning. I'm Gardner Minshew to me. Like I thought maybe there was a possibility he could do better, but like our offensive line isn't playing great, right? And he's just holding on to the ball too long, and he's getting sacked all the time. And then we're just struggling with defense. And it's not even that our defense is struggling. They're struggling with injuries. Like people are just falling like flies. And honestly, our defense is playing really well, right? They're just on the field all the time because the offense sucks. Brock Bowers, oh stud! That guy's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Then we got some key guys. We have zero running game. Like our running game is trash. So my whole thing is like if you're trying to run the ball, right? And if your identity is smash mouth football, right? Why did you let Josh Jacobs walk? Why not sign him to the deal when you could have? I think that was a failure because Josh Jacobs is a beast and he made that line look good. You know what I'm saying? Zamir White has zero vision. That guy runs into the back of his guards and tackles all the time. Like when you watch the game, he just runs straight into them. Like and then he falls down. Like of course we're not being able to run. Now the offensive line I will say has not been doing great. We have two rookies in there now. Colt Miller hasn't looked great and Andre James is decent. I forgot who the other guy was on the line. If anyone knows, shout it out. Munford, Thayer Munford. He's been doing okay, but then I think he recently just got hurt. So I think that's why we had to bring. I don't even recall. I don't even recall. Anyways, but there's a big issue that's been going on with this team, which has been really aggravating me, is the whole Devontae Adams garbage. Like I wasn't a fan of Devontae and I wasn't a fan of getting him. But when we got him, I embraced him. I was excited about Devontae because Devontae is going to be a Hall of Fame receiver. So why wouldn't you want that? But in my view, I thought this was like a lunatic idea, right? He came to play with Derek Carr, but I don't think we were a Super Bowl contender ever. And then when Josh McDaniels and them, they started rebuilding immediately. So like honestly, I don't think anybody's covered this lately, and because you don't want to live in the past. But the NFL like screwed the Raiders. Like with that whole John Gruden thing, like they were on the precipice of getting better. And then they pulled the rug from him when they released those emails, which I think was a total hit job. Then we make it to the playoffs almost. I can't remember if we make the playoffs or not. I'm fuzzy. I think we make the playoffs that year with Rich Bisaccia. And then they decide to go in a different direction and hire Josh McDaniels. Like, and then it's like, I get why they didn't hire Rich Bisaccia, even though they should have. We would have kept Derek Carr. We may have not got Devontae Adams, which is fine, whatever. But I think we would have been in much better thing. I even think Mike Mayock did a very good job with some of these picks, right? I think we were headed towards the right direction. Anyways, they don't do that. They go to Josh McDaniels and Ziegler, and they just like they say they're competing now, so they pull off a blockbuster trade, give up a bunch of assets to bring in Devontae Adams, and then they start slowly rebuilding on the end because it's not working out for them. Like obviously they were atrocious. AP takes over halfway through the second year, right? And it was good riddance, good. But then it's like, okay, that's not only did John Gruden start rebuild, um, after I think it was Jack Del Rio. I can't even remember my coaches. There's been just so many. It was Jack Del Rio. Then we got to John Gruden. Then we got to Josh McDaniels, and now we're on AP. And each one of those times, they said they weren't going to rebuild, but then they started to rebuild. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just kind of irritating as a fan that like it consistently is like there is not any type of stability within this franchise. Like we have Max Crosby. Max Crosby is a legend. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be the greatest Raider that's ever played football, and I'll stand on that. Like, yes, we've had a lot of greats, so that's a high bar to set. But I think he has that ability. I think he has that drive, and I think he'll go down as the greatest Raider of all time. Right? Okay. I'm talking about as far as like effort and just Raider mentality type thing. I mean, I guess you could say Al Davis, but like I'm gonna say Max Crosby. Um, we got Christian Wilkins, who just got injured, right? Tyree Wilson. Let's see what happens out of him. He's starting to play a little bit better. He's kind of played atrocious at the beginning of the year. Who else? Who else? Some standouts. Jacorian Bennett, beast. He's being a beast at cornerback. Turn it up. Jack Jones. I haven't seen much from him this year. I seen a lot more from him last year. So I don't know what's happening. Hopefully he can make some plays and things of that nature. What's his name? Oh, sorry. What's his name? What's his name? The linebacker. The linebacker that just runs through brick walls. I'm looking it up. Hold on. Raiders LB. Robert Spillane. Forgive me, Robert Spillane, for not knowing who you are. That guy's a legend. That guy's a beast. Love that guy. He epitomizes a Raider. A Raider. Raiders. See, I still love the Raiders, even though they're at 2-3, even though they're sucking. Honestly, like Carolina was an embarrassment. They got embarrassed. That team was garbage, and then Andy Dalton came in and just tore them up. Okay, the Chargers game was winnable. Was very winnable. They just gave it away. They gave that junk away. What was the other game? The Bronco game? Oh, snap. Are you serious? Like, their offense just like they were whooping the Broncos, and then he throws that pick six, and it totally transforms the entire game. Like, I'm really glad we're actually starting AOC because I think AOC will actually be better. I think he'll release the ball quicker. A lot of other people have said this, but I just think I think he has a little bit more than people give him credit for. Like, I think yes, we probably need a quarterback in the future, and I'm going to stand by that. We will. I'm hoping, like, I wouldn't mind Shadur Sanders, like with Brock Bowers, and when dude, like that would be beast. We got to build this offensive line though, because like he's already doesn't have an offensive line. We need ours to be better. But I think OAC got something, because who knows? Like, you never know with someone. Like, you can't predict things. Like, people surprise you all the time, right? But I don't know. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. We play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully they trade Devontae soon. If not, he's just shut up and play. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, although he's kind of stopped being on radio shows, so maybe he's trying not to. But we're trying to get a second-round pick and some assets. People are saying that's too high of a price. I say just hold him, dude. Like, forget it. If you don't want to play for the Raiders, you don't have to. We'll just keep you at your contract. We'll just keep you there. Whatever. We're not going to pay you. We're not going to pay you until you play. That's kind of my attitude. I'm tired of these divas in the NFL. They make millions of dollars, and they're going to act like they don't make enough. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Strap up, shut up, and play. Like, let's just do this. This is football. Let's stop being women. Let's stop being, not to disrespect women, sorry. Let's stop being little girls. How about that? Okay? No, it's still being derogatory. Apologies. I don't know. I miss the old football. I miss the smash mouth football. I hate this new little sissy football where it's like everything's about offense, no defense. I miss getting people getting smacked in the mouth. Like, I miss that so much. Like, anyways, not to go on a big triad. No, that's a Chinese mafia. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. But this has been, and I had something else to say, but I forgot it, so obviously it was important. But this has been another episode with Mr. Mrradillo's World. I appreciate you guys watching. It's been fun. I haven't recorded in a while, so I am excited.